Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sibu Mpanza. Welcome back to another episode of Reddit Stories. I am here to read something slightly different today. Actually, we are reading not from Am I the A-hole? We are reading from another Reddit page called TrueOffMyChest. TrueOffMyChest. It basically is a place for people who need to speak their mind. A place to get personal things off your chest, not for opinions, not for relationship advice, and not for preaching. So basically, from what I'm seeing here, it's just a page where you can speak your mind and get things off your chest. It says here the post must be personal and in an off my chest style. So we are not necessarily going to be giving advice today. We're just going to be reading, seeing what people need to get off their chest. With that being said, one of you commented a couple of videos ago and you said, Sibu, do you know what would be great? If we were able to send in our stories to you so you can read them out. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like me to do that. And I will create an email address and then you guys can send your things that you want to get off your chest. Maybe you want some relationship advice. Maybe you want me to answer whether you are the a-hole or not. So maybe we'll do that. I'll see by the comments. Okay, let's get into it. True off my chest.
Rigorous. Gang looking rigorous. My champagne, but I'm rigorous. My campaign looking rigorous. Whole team hella rigorous. Lifestyle so rigorous. Hairstyle so rigorous. Your top 5 ain't rigorous. If you left out this rigorous.
First story says, my husband is a child in a grown-up's body. Oh man, aren't they all? I was trying to sleep this morning. I have insomnia and I've been under an incredible amount of stress lately. So much stress that I didn't even get my period this month. This man busts in the room where I was getting 1 more hour of sleep and wants to know where all the protein bars his mom ordered him are. It can't be that serious. It can never ever be that serious. Well, I ate 1 box and there's another box in the kitchen. That's not good enough for him. He said I was stingy and that I'm getting wider. Guys, I feel like I'm gonna repeat myself here when I say relationships can be hard, but wow, we make them so much harder. Calling your wife wide, saying your wife is getting wider because she ate 1 box of your protein bars. She ate 1 box, there's another box. That means you guys have gone 50-50. Like, it's a box of protein bars. Like he was trying to shame me for eating protein bars his mom sent. He lives in my house. I own the car, the pets are mine. He lives a sweet life. I earn 3 times what he makes and now we're trying to get pregnant. And the sleep, which is something I desperately need, doesn't seem to matter to him at all. So now I get to work all day on 4 hours of sleep and I have an interview I was going to prep for, and I know that with this little sleep, I'm never going to be able to do more than the bare minimum of work meetings. This lady owns the house, the car, the pets, and the husband is living a nice life. This just sounds like a mommy's boy. This genuinely sounds like a mommy's boy who is upset that you ate something that his mom sent him. Because I cannot understand why you would wake up your partner. Guys, sometimes there's something I'm looking for in this house. Sometimes there's something I want to do or whatever. I cannot imagine walking into my bedroom to wake my fiance up instead of just waiting an extra hour for a protein bar, for a little snack. Go make some bread, bro. Go buy something else. I cannot function unless I've slept all the hours a night. You know how you guys will be like, yeah, I can sleep 4 hours, 5 hours, and then I'm fine. I have to get the prescribed 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night or nothing makes sense to me. I know if I have to wake up early, I'm the type of person who is going to then go to bed as early as possible. This is a person who has a job that, what did she say? She said, I earn 3 times what he makes and now we are trying to get pregnant. My sister, you know what? I'm not even done reading and I'm already passing judgments. I have a meeting with my career coach this evening. I won't be prepared to do a mock interview. I'm so pissed. This man is ruining my life like an inside job. Then he effing goes back to bed because he's off work today. What? If you ever wake me up for something as ridiculous as a protein bar, you must understand that you are not allowed to sleep for the next 48 hours. Obviously, I'm being hyperbolic, but that's just dirty. Waking your wife up when you know that she has a busy day, when you know that she works a stressful job, only for you to then go back to sleep. My body is exhausted, my back hurts, and now apparently I'm getting fat from protein bars, which is crazy. She posted an update. We're pregnant, it turns out. Doc called back. We found out this morning. Then I started miscarrying almost immediately after finding out. Sorry, I haven't been responding much. I'm feeling pretty dazed at the moment. Ah, that's painful, man. That's incredibly painful. That's incredibly painful. You should not be having a child with this man. You should not be married to this man. Especially not bringing in a child into this world with the kind of person who's going to wake you up when you have a busy day coming up to ask you about a protein bar. Do you know who should be waking you up in the last hour of your sleep to ask you about a protein bar? A kid. A kid, it's fine. We all used to do it, guys. You know, don't act, okay? Your mom made an amazing dinner last night. You wake up in the morning, all you can think about is that chicken in the fridge. Yo, you've been thinking about it all night and now you're finally up. But is your mom up? No, she's not. She's out cold. She's sleeping. It's a Sunday morning or it's a Saturday morning. She's out cold. She's not awake, but you know you can't just go into the oven and just take that piece of meat. You have to ask your mom first. So then what do? You walk up to her bedroom, you knock. You remember, you must be as nice as possible. Otherwise, you're not going to smell that chicken. You knock. Oh, lady, bengicela chicken ya izolo. Ithathe mntanami, ithathe. That's fine, okay? That's completely fine. It's not fine, but it's like, it's what kids do. Kids do that. A kid will call you at work to ask you where is their toothbrush. Whatever, that's what kids do. A grown man, your husband no less, the man whose child you were carrying. I think your body was trying to save you from this man because that's wild. Divorce. Divorce, babe, divorce. Because there is absolutely no way you're going to wake up your wife. You're then going to tell her she's being stingy and that she's getting wider off of eating your protein bars that your mom sent you. I think that's her way out. That's her way to get the hell out of there. Unbelievable. Story number 2. This one is a long one. Actually, it's not a long one. I think from what I'm seeing, she posts a lot of updates. So let's get into it. It says not safe for work. So if you're watching with a parent or if you're watching with a child, I will try my best to make it PG, but it says 18 plus. And the title is, my parents have been sleeping with my neighbor our whole life. So I've come to find out our neighbor, Vanessa, is not just a good family friend. She's my parents' third, and it's evidently been that way since I was very, very young. Now, who's to say Vanessa ain't your mother? Sorry, we're only in the first sentence. I'm gonna keep going. This woman's been walking into our home pretty much uninvited and vice versa. I've spent hundreds of hours hanging out with her daughter, who I don't even like all that much, getting dozens of gifts from this lady since I was 4. Never once did any of these people think it was prudent to tell me that she may as well have been my second mother. When I confronted my parents, their excuse was that they thought I already knew, which is bull because I caught them sneaking around to go play holy diver between Vanessa's legs. Religious hypocrites were concerned that one of my friends is a lesbian and that I might be turning gay for girls or whatever. But my mom's been laying with a woman and they're all practically polygamous. How am I supposed to take that? That is so dirty. That is so dirty. I don't understand the cognitive dissonance that you are going to be an absolute religious hypocrite to your child. But at the same time, Oleti, you are busy knocking knees with Vanessa from next door. If you don't know what cognitive dissonance is, I don't either. So I'm just going to type it. Cognitive dissonance. I know when to say it, but I don't know what it means. Cognitive dissonance occurs when a person's behavior and beliefs do not complement each other, or when they hold two contradictory beliefs. It causes a feeling of discomfort that can motivate people to try and feel better. People may do this via defense mechanisms such as avoidance. I told you I know how to use it, but I would not be able to explain it to you. The fact that these people could go and be queerphobic because her friend is a lesbian But at the same time, Vanessa from next door is coming over. As in, let me keep reading. Apparently, my mom is more into women than men, and my dad doesn't like having sex, so he just watches. Hey, go see him. I'm just gonna go get some water quickly. I'll be right back. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna be fair, right? If your mom is more into women, she sounds like she's a bi lady. If your mom is more into women than men and she still married your dad, fine, she's bi. It's whatever. And your dad doesn't like having sex, so he just watches. Why must they then bring someone into their home while you were there? What in the Jada and Will is going on here? So, great. My mom's a lesbian, my dad's a cuck, and my neighbor is my second mom. Glad that is all established when I'm 19 and not at any point during the last 16 years. So now what? So now these are her updates. Plan of action is to discuss with Vanessa and see if I can get her side of things. I prepped some questions, including some questions I got from the comments. I might update this again if it's not too private. Girl, private has gone out the window. Private has left the station. Update number 2. I had a very enlightening conversation with Vanessa. She said that she doesn't want anything to change between us. My sister Vanessa, once again, the other ship has sailed. She says I'm still welcome in her home even if she and my parents split. She shed a little more light when I probed. Here we go, time to probe. Her daughter is in no way blood related to me. She said that she has never done anything like that with my dad. Their relationship has been going on for 20 years. My mom got pregnant with me a few months after meeting her. She moved in the same month my parents moved in. Okay, wait. Let me take a moment to just go backwards here. This is not a situation where Taima and Oledi are both doing the nasty with the next door neighbor. This is a situation where Mamzo isn't really that much into men. And for some reason, Taima and Mamzo decided to still get married. Or maybe they found out, they figured themselves out after that. Taima doesn't participate. The most participation he does is just... She said she loves my parents, my mom especially, but she's not sure my mom feels the same way. She says she wanted to have a more direct role in my upbringing, but settled for being Aunt Vanessa because my parents wouldn't tell me anything. Vanessa, what do you want, bro? Literally everyone in this situation, including her daughter, knew about what's been going on except me. My dad might be autistic and I never really noticed. I feel like the biggest effing clown in the entire effing circus for not catching on sooner. Last thing I want to mention is she gave me a warning. She said that my mom once asked her to role play as me for a night. Oh, wow. What? She said that my mom once asked her to role play as me for a night, dye her hair red and wear a copy of an outfit I wore to my first day of high school. I didn't believe her at first, but she had the text saved with the photos my mom sent her of me. There were also long stretches of conversation where my mom fantasized about my body. She wanted me to crawl up on hands and knees to worship her in explicit and incredibly blasphemous ways. She talked about... I'm getting goosebumps. I'm getting so grossed out. She talked about wanting to help me shower. She took pictures of me sleeping in my underwear that my dad found them and made her delete them. She also said she wanted to watch Vanessa seduce me when I was still underage. Vanessa claims she refused any advances related to me. I was 16 at the time she took those photos. My mom has allegedly been to therapy to correct that, but I don't really think it matters. So the plan has changed. Highest priority now is finding somewhere to live. I'm looking for apartments in the area and I plan to cut spending where I can. Therapy is going to have to wait until I am somewhere else. I feel violated and unsafe. I'm mad at myself, I think, but other than that, I just feel numb. I'm just kind of here. It's almost funny because I was so worried about what is she gonna say, but being told my mom was perving on me when I was underage still never even crossed my mind. I wish I had never asked. I miss yesterday when I didn't know any of this. That got dark very, very quickly. Wow. Guys, sometimes when you're sitting there and you're thinking about your life and you're thinking about how bad things are, just go on Reddit and read about other people's lives, because I cannot imagine, one, finding out that your parents like to do the dilly-dally with your next door neighbor, which, to be fair, is completely fine. You know, to be, let's just be fair, right? Your parents' sexual activities are not really your business unless they're like bringing weird, dirty, scary people, making it unsafe for you. I think it's a completely different story when we start talking about a mother who has asked her side piece, whatever we're gonna call Vanessa, to dress up like you in your, not school uniform, like the outfit that you were wearing at school. She definitely needs to get out of that house. It's not even a question. I would even say no contact with your mother until she gets the help that she needs, because that is another level. Also, I've never heard of women doing this. You hear a lot of men, about a lot of men doing this. I know obviously that doesn't mean that women don't, like, you know, we can use our brains, but it's just so jarring to hear a mother who would do this to her daughter. Wow. All right, last one. Let's go. True off my chest. How AA maybe ruined my marriage and is a cult. If you don't know what AA is, it is Alcoholics Anonymous. It is a support group that people who have drinking problems go to find people just like them and get the help that they need. I just have to scream into the void somewhere, and there is no subreddit which caters to my specific grudge. I've 42 male, been married to my wife, 39 female, for 10 years. We have 2 littles. They're 3 and 5. During our relationship, my wife drank daily. It got to the point where after I got home from work, I would take point with the kids and she would drink 1 to 2 bottles of wine. During this time, I did my very best to support her and our family. She's a great mom. That's never been in question. And she has always been incredibly strong. We've had our ebbs and flows, but always expressed our deep love, and we're great at communication, and we are also great at repair. This sounds like an ideal relationship. If there's anything you want in a relationship, you always want someone who's going to express how much they love you. They're going to be good at communication, and even more than that, they're going to be great at repair. In Jan of this year, she decided to get sober, and I was so happy and proud of her. She quickly decided to join AA, and I was very supportive. Good on you, man. At first, she attended meetings daily, and that was great. Then she got a job and was working full-time, then going to meetings. I decided to put my work on the back burners to support her newfound career or passion, and I took full-time point with the kids. That's a good man. She was gone 10 hours a day when she worked because she would go to AA. The disconnection between us began to get wider, but I continued to put her career and her sobriety first, believing that once she got over the hump and got her feet under her, it would smooth out. We went to couples therapy during this time too. Then one week in July, she got extra distant, explaining that the step she was on was really tough. 3 days later, and she asked for a separation out of the blue. Guys, there's no formula. Guys, there is no formula. You can never confirm anyone. You can try your best, you can guesstimate, you can fantasize, but you can never confirm anyone. I was devastated and gutted. It's been 2 months and I'm just now shattered all the time. Within a week or so, she was hooking up with some sleazy AAF boy, which are a thing. Not a deal breaker for me, but hard to deal with, to say the very least. So 2 weeks, within a week or so. So basically, let's say 2 weeks. 2 weeks after asking to separate from her husband, she was with another guy. And he says, which is a thing. And I know that's a thing. That's called being, they call it being 13 stepped. 13 stepped. Basically, when you go into AA, there's 12 steps that you have to do. They range from forgiveness and, well, there's just a lot. You can read up on it, right? There's 12 steps. There's a slang term called 13 steps or getting 13 stepped. And that's what happens when you go to an AA meeting as a new person And basically there is a predator there. Maybe it's some uncle, some auntie, somebody who's usually a little bit older, further along in their sobriety journey. And so they have a good understanding of what everybody's here to do, and especially you, new person who's just walking in. And usually those relationships go into a sexual nature. They don't have to, but they can. And the reason this is so easy for a lot of these predators is because they understand what you are going through better than your husband is going to understand what you're going through. And that's just a fact. There's nothing you can fight about that. Another alcoholic is going to have a better idea of what you're going through than your husband who doesn't drink or who doesn't have a drinking problem like you may have. Here's the thing. Her sponsor literally did this exact same thing at the exact same time in her sobriety. All of her friends are now AA people. Yeah. My wife is blowing up her life and no one is telling her to maybe see a professional. She's surrounded by peers who will only tell her what she wants to hear. She's putting her trust into a peer who is a manipulative narcissist. The first time I met her sponsor, I got bad vibes. She's putting AA first, and while she is sober, she has traded one problem for another. It's very confusing how he wrote this, but basically he says that they've been telling her at AA that she is sick and weak, and that only by giving it all up to God and admit that she's weak and powerless can she stay sober. I've been to meetings and everyone says that if you stop going, you'll relapse. My wife never believed in God. A higher power, yes, but one that empowered her, not one which views self-power as the reason she kept drinking. It's so messed up and such a vicious cycle to me. It takes away all the power of the individual and teaches them that they are weak and sick. A solid recovery program should have the goal of not needing daily meetings. When my wife experienced an existential crisis, the people she trusted to point her in the right direction are just peers struggling to stay sober. One of the worst parts about this is that this isn't who my wife is. She's been someone who gets therapy when she needs it, somebody who knows she's strong and capable, someone who believes in us and our family. I don't know if we can reconcile. I love her so much, and because of my own history with drugs, I understand deeply the crisis one faces when they get sober. I'm willing to work everything out because I have so much compassion for her. Time will tell if she is. This is going to be one of those situations where this lady is going to regret leaving this genuine guy who clearly has compassion for her, who is empathetic. Because if there's one thing you need when you are going through alcohol withdrawal, when you're going through any kind of addiction withdrawal, is you need somebody who is empathetic towards you, not somebody who is going to be upset with you all the time, somebody who's not going to be in your corner, because this is more than just willpower. Addiction is more than willpower. You can't willpower yourself out of addiction. I know this is not everyone's experience, and I know that AA has saved lives, but every AA is different, and this one is so dang toxic and wrong. Or at least the group that she's with. AA is a peer group and not equipped to handle people when they break. The sponsor's relationship can so easily be a messed up power dynamic, especially when the sponsee is in such a lost headspace. I support my wife fully, eventually at the cost of myself. I'm not faultless and I've taken responsibility for myself, and I'm focusing on improving my issues, and this is where I'm at. She believes she's weak and sick, and if she stops AA, she will instantly relapse. That is really tough. I'm somebody who's been to AA before. Well, technically not AA. I've been to something called Al-Anon. It's not AA. AA is for people who have the drinking problem, for the people with addiction. Al-Anon is for people who are affected by someone who has an alcohol addiction. So let's say I have an alcohol addiction and I go to AA, or even if I don't, it's whatever. Yolanda would go to Al-Anon. Or my brother would go to Al-Anon, or my mom would go to Al-Anon. So the people that are affected by my drinking would then go to Al-Anon. It was really great. It was really helpful. It was nice to speak to people who understand how it feels to have a loved one who's got a drinking problem, an alcoholic problem. If you are dating somebody, married to somebody, it's your brother, your mom, your aunt, your uncle, try get them into AA. As much as you just heard what I said here, AA can be very, very helpful. But you yourself, if you are affected by somebody who has a drinking problem, look for Al-Anon, Al-Anon. And there's lots of groups, Joburg, Cape Town, South Africa. There's many. You know that in South Africa we have a drinking problem. So there's many. And it's really painful to hear what this guy is going through. If you think your life is tough, just go find a subreddit and you will learn that people have many problems. Wow. Let me know what you think of today's stories. A little bit of a longer video for you. Yeah, wow. Some of them heartbreaking, some hilarious. Mostly heartbreaking because people have problems. Next episode is Am I the A-hole? We're going back. But let me know if you want more True Off My Chest and I'll carry on doing them. It has 2.3 million members, so people are really getting stuff off their chest. I love you guys. I'll see you soon with another video.